In the 2024 Lexus GX 550, we're in the ultra luxury trim. We're going to do a little nighttime walk around and driving impressions. Let's get into it. For 2024, we know that the GX is all new from the ground up. We have a very impressive overhaul of the spindle grille, but since it's nighttime, we're going to focus on the lights on the outside and the inside. Also, make sure to check out my daytime review with the family and the kids. This is going to be more of a nighttime Midnight Club dub edition, literally because we're sitting on 22s on this. But all right, let's go ahead and talk about the triple beams. Honestly, this is one of the more impressive Lexus models I have seen at night in a long time. The daytime running light is super bright, even with the triple beams on. And then we have the amazing fog lights down there at the bottom. Now, when you turn the wheel, you also get the additional lamp that comes on, which looks really, really cool. Now, when you turn the turn indicators on, you get an additional amber light that comes on at the bottom. Unfortunately, the daytime running light does not act as a turn indicator like it does in the Lexus TX. But overall, I would say the lighting performance here on this is much, much more impressive than the TX. The TX does not have triple beam LEDs. On the side, the new GX looks incredible compared to the old one, but that's obviously subjective. But I love seeing the super bright side mirror light. And then from the side, you can also see the front turn indicator up there and even the rear turn indicator. Now on the back, huge Lexus light bar with a couple fins on each side. I think it would have been a nice touch if Lexus would have illuminated the Lexus lettering. Some people say it looks like a Dodge product from behind if you don't know what you're looking at. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but it would have been nice. Now, the turn indicators are right underneath those fins, and then down here are a couple of reflectors. And yes, some people akin this tow hitch cover to a diaper. You guys are brutal, but yeah, it doesn't look good. So I wish this had a prettier cover for that tow hitch receiver. But I want to get on the inside of the GX. Lexus is luxury. It should have a fairly fancy light show in here. So let's see. I don't see anything on the passenger door here other than the door, the window switch having some illumination to it. Let's see if I can pump up the brightness for you. Getting on the inside, of course, we have our triple climate control in the back. And there's no illumination for the USBs down here. There is, but you have to open them. What? That makes no sense. You would think that they would be illuminated even with the covers, so you can find the cover to open it, but no, you have to open the cover to get illumination. So these covers would probably be open 24/7 if this was my vehicle. If we look above, we have the dynamic sky, beautiful pano sunroof. Check out this right above us. We have a couple map lights, one for each side, so I kind of like that, but there's no footwell lighting or nothing like that, nothing crazy like what the Germans do, for example. The back seat, well, actually, if you see behind, those blue looking lights in the corner raise and lower the seats, but that's for the hatch area, so that actually is illuminated back there. We have USB illumination. Below that is going to be the seat recline. And then below that, it's not really for the rear passengers, it's for when this second row seat is ahead. That is going to be to lower and raise these back seats. The cool thing is, Lexus includes those switches on each side to raise and lower the third row of seats. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in the third row, you also have some light. Like I mentioned, you have these as well for the second row. So lots of map lights here in the new Lexus GX. You even have a microphone back there to interact with Apple CarPlay or whatever you want to interact with. Gotta love the sunshades here. I don't know if I mentioned that in my daytime review. Gosh, I suck at closing these doors. Sometimes on new Lexus products, the doors don't close perfectly because everything's just so tight. Over time, it gets a little bit looser. It's easier to close them regularly. In the back, no illumination for the AC 120 volt there, unfortunately. There's one light right here on this side, and there's one light over here on that side to illuminate your cargo area. All right. Of course, the hatch is illuminated, so let's go ahead and get into the front. Don't know if I see any ambient lighting on the door. other than the window switches being illuminated. We have a beautiful illuminated Lexus skid plate. I don't remember, was that back here? No, there was no skid plate back there. And let's go ahead and get on the inside of the new GX. We do have some ambient lighting on the floor wells. If I can pump that up, you guys can see that. It is, it's just normal color, I guess, like kind of like a soft glow. On the camera it looks purple, but into my eye it looks white. And it is on the opposite side as well. That's really hard to see at nighttime on my camera. All right, the 14-inch screen here looks good at night. Of course, it looks great during the day, so there's no change there. Getting out of that, if we go to maybe some of the car settings, could be under vehicle customize, head-up display. Now, some of you guys are saying in my daytime review that the head-up display isn't as bad as I say it is. So I can customize the how much it gives me. Right now I like the minimal, but I'll put full on for you guys. You can see what that looks like. And those are the controls to raise, lower, and tilt it. Look how tiny and compact that is. Most competitors will have a head-up display probably 10 times the size. And if I try to raise it and lower it, to my point of view, the head-up display gets a little blurry, especially during the day, all right? At nighttime, actually, it's staying more crisp than it normally does, but if I sit all the way up, I start losing the vision of it. If I bring it down a little bit, it starts looking a little bit better. So from my point of view and my height and my seating position, I have to have it pretty low down, okay? So keep that in mind. It's not the greatest head-up display. It pales in comparison to its competition. It pales in comparison to even the NX and RX head-up displays. This is the same technology head-up display we have on, let's say, the new Tacoma as well as the new Camry. So it's nothing to really write home about. Anyways, the MID right here, it is pretty fantastic once you figure out how to customize it using the buttons here on the steering wheel. Think about it this way, it has 3 customizable screens per screen, then you have 3 presets. Okay, so this is currently my preset 4. That would have been screen 1, I believe. There's screen 3. So you have 3 different presets here that you can customize each on how you like your information to be displayed. A little bit of lighting on the buttons on the steering wheel, but nothing too crazy. Down here at the bottom, it's great to have your 4 high, 4 low center lock, all illuminated. Your driving modes over here, illuminated. Your USBs, even your trailer hitch control, or your trailer control, your camera button. How do these cameras work at night? Well, it's actually not that dark right now, so it's going to look pretty good because this parking lot's very well illuminated, as you guys can see. If I do lights, okay, you can customize the exterior lights, illumination here. If you don't like the white ambient lighting, you can change it. Let's try to get some purple here. Let's try to make it as bright as possible. Can you see that down there below? A little bit more purple, right? And can you see that here? There you go. And there's a little bit of ambient lighting spreading on the doors. You could not see that at all earlier, okay? Because of the dimness of the setting from the factory, as well as everything just being basically white, okay? Now, if I even go to the back seat, we have a little bit of purple shine down. That's just really the only light coming down to illuminate the door handle. There's no other ambient light in the back seat, not on the floor, not overhead or anything. So there you go. You can have a little bit of customization here. It's the most subtle customization I think I've probably seen on a luxury vehicle, other than other Lexus models, which really know how to just tone everything as like chill as possible with these lights, which I don't mind. I like the subtlety here, you know, being in stuff like the BMW i7 not that long ago, that is just overwhelming and a bit glitzy to glamour. This for me, a little glam style. This is super chill in comparison, and definitely for me is more in line with my sort of vibe. Show you the dynamic sky sunroof here. And so I honestly think it lets in more light when you diffuse the light. Doesn't it appear that way on the camera as well? So if you want more light to come into the cabin at night, all you do is just enable that button there, which is going to make it brighter somehow with the diffusion. You also have the digital rearview mirror. Pretty grainy at nighttime, but what do you expect? Well, the traditional shifter in the new GX, I'm glad they kept it here. So it's twin turbo V6. On paper, it is, well, it has great torque, 479 pound-feet of torque, and that is the strength of this powertrain. The 10-speed's also really good, really smooth, very predictable, and I enjoy driving this vehicle way more actually than the old GX. The old GX is better for pure luxury. The ride quality is just a little bit better in there, even though this model has adaptive variable suspension. It can really stiffen up and loosen the vehicle. It is still not nearly as smooth feeling as the old GX, even in the comfort mode here. And the comfort mode almost feels unsafe with how loose everything gets in this vehicle. So we're going to put things in Sport Plus mode. Let's brake boost it. Ooh, that launches pretty hard. Shifts around 5,700 RPM. And 0 to 60 in 7.24 and 0 to 100 in 7.56. Yeah, about a 7-second 0 to 60 car is what my butt feels anyways. And yeah, I wish this just had the top end of the LX. 0 to 60 might be, it would probably crack 7 seconds there. The LX feels just a little bit faster because it has that top end. I think that's got like what, 409 horsepower, something like that. But we're in Sport Plus mode, and this thing actually it's so firm. And about 5,000 RPM, I get a vibration that really buzzes the gas pedal and really buzzes everything in the car. There's some sort of vibration I even get from somewhere over here by the vent or the steering column, and it buzzes that too. And I thought, maybe when I drove this in Arizona for the first time, I thought maybe that was because it was, early production or pre-production models I was driving. Even in this production model, I get a buzz at 5,000 RPM that is unacceptable for Lexus standards. Absolutely unacceptable. Lexus used to pride themselves on superior noise, vibration, and harshness compared to the competition. It was just, their cars were just so smooth, so buttery, and having a vibration like that through every single time you get to 5,000 RPM, it is not Lexus quality. And what about the rest of the vehicle? Is it Lexus quality? Well, the build quality is overall pretty good. The fit and finish, that's an undersight there with that vibration coming through. But the rest of the time, there's no vibration coming through the pedals of the steering, which is typical Lexus. It's just, it takes the experience away from you. I'm gonna do it again here. Yeah. Not only that, I hear a vibration out in the back too, somewhere in there around 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. And then at 5,000 RPM, I get the front buzz. So yeah, it's just not good enough for Lexus standards. All right, the smoothness of the powertrain is there. But this is actually a really dark area that I like to talk about the light, because these lights are some of the best I've tested. It goes so wide, and I have the fog lights on. They just help illuminate the ground right in front of the vehicle. But the spread with these triple beams is super impressive. And then I'm not gonna put on the lights. There's the high beams now. It's a little bright, but in my neighborhood, when I put on the high beams, it literally just like lit up everything from about, 4 feet all the way to about 20 feet, it seemed like. So like the amount of light these things push out and the uniformity is extremely impressive, on top of the amount of width and cone that it gives you. So A+ headlights here with these triple beams on the new Lexus GX, and luckily they come standard, you know, on the NX and RX, if I remember right. I think you have to pay extra for them. You don't even get triple beams on, like I said, the TX or the RZ. There'll eventually be a TZ, but not yet. But the RZ doesn't have triple beams, and that's like a Lexus signature. And so to me, it would be hard to get a modern Lexus without the triple beams. The LS has them standard. The LC has them standard. You can get them on the RC, even though the base RC lights look pretty cool. The triple beams are always the way to go if you can afford it. And if you're buying a Lexus, why not? Why not get the better looking lights and the better performing lights here? At least in my opinion. I know in years past, some people have reviewed the lights and said the bi-LED base lights are better. But honestly, with these new triple beams on this GX, I don't know if I've seen better headlights, better performing headlights, at least from my perspective. The brakes here on the new GX, I speed up, are unbelievably good. Super progressive, very buttery like transition with the pedal. The old GX had the worst brakes ever. The feel was like you had this, not only a squishy feel, but you had like this hydraulic squish noise every time you press the brake pedal. And it was just not a good brake pedal at all. And you had a lot of pitch and dive. Here, this thing feels super, super level. As you even brake this thing hard to a stop. I've been, I guess, in Sport Plus mode, which really stiffens up the suspension. In everyday driving, I'd probably say I'm in normal mode 99% of the time because I feel it blends comfort and sport the best. Comfort mode is just way too soft and sport mode is too stiff. So as long as you're not hustling this powertrain, the GX is really, really quiet. I know I was roasting it earlier, but it's very, very quiet. Of course, I have double pane glass here, these large windows, great visibility in the GX with this very upright windshield. Hardly any tire noise, even with these 22s. And your tire noise would probably be very loud on the Overtrail, louder than the rest of the trim levels. And then on the Premium Plus with the 20-inch wheels, that's going to give you probably the best overall experience for comfort and quietness. Yeah, I can notice that I'm rolling on some big skates here because there is a little bit of high-pitched road noise and tire noise, but it's still really minimal in this luxury SUV. All right, I think I've said everything I wanted to about the GX. Love the powertrain. Don't like how Lexus has allowed the buzziness of the powertrain to seep in throughout the rev range. But if you're not really putting the pedal down, you don't get any of that buzziness. It's very smooth, very quiet, very relaxing in here. Technology is fantastic. Head-up display could be a heck of a lot better. It's just so small. Average brightness, and if you move it out of the perfect visibility for you, it might look a little blurry. So anyways, I've roasted that head-up display enough. It's not terrible, but for Lexus I expect more, especially seeing the NX and RX head-up displays. This also has the running boards that I've just disabled. Watch my family review why I've done that. They're just not big enough, the main reason. But I like the illuminated volume now. I don't even know if I touched on that, so that's great to have there. But yeah, I love this GX this week. I've been driving this pretty much exclusively. I've had a Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison, which is a really badass truck, but it can't compare to this GX in terms of just comfort, right? That's an off-roading freak show truck that is just, it's like a boy toy. This thing is a gentleman and a scholar in comparison. So I'm gonna end it there. Thanks Lexus for sending me the GX. Again, if you haven't watched my daytime review, check that out where I showed the strengths and weaknesses of it as a family vehicle. But yeah, I love the GX 550. I'm excited for the hybrid powertrain. It's not very efficient. I get 15 miles per gallon in the city on this. The GX 550H or whatever it's going to be called is probably going to get 18 to 20 miles per gallon, so not a whole lot better. But yeah, I'll bring that coverage for you guys. I don't in the next year when Lexus brings it out. In the meantime, the twin turbo V6 is fantastic. I actually like it better than the 2.4 turbo hybrid or the hybrid max that we have in the Land Cruiser, but I need to test that powertrain a little bit more to get a better feel of it. I haven't had it on a press loan yet. So twin turbo V6 is great here. The looks and the feel of the new GX overall is good. It just doesn't have that same smooth, buttery persona that the old GX has, but it makes up for that and then some with just how better it performs all around. Better powertrain in terms of torque and performance, better transmission, slightly better efficiency, better technology, better brakes, better handling, and better looks, in my opinion. My wife actually likes the looks of the old GX, but she thinks pugs are cute. So love you, Cass. I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.